The vast chamber of the Galactic Council hummed with anticipation. Delegates from 1,000 worlds shifted in their seats, appendages of all shapes and sizes fidgeting as they awaited the arrival of the newest potential member race. Rumors had been swirling for cycles about a primitive species on the fringes of explored space, newly discovered and ripe for guidance from the more established races. High Counselor Zixtar, a being of shimmering energy barely contained within a ceremonial exosuit, floated at the center of the chamber. His voice, a melodious blend of subsonic vibrations and electromagnetic pulses, called for order. Esteemed colleagues, Zixtar began, today we welcome representatives from the planet known as Earth. Let us greet them with the wisdom and benevolence that has made our Galactic Council the pinnacle of civilized space. As if on cue, the massive doors at the far end of the chamber swung open. A hush fell over the assembled aliens as three bipedal figures strode confidently into view. They were clad in simple, form-fitting garments of a dull gray material, their exposed skin a range of hues from pale pink to deep brown. Leading the trio was a tall, broad-shouldered human with close-cropped silver hair and piercing blue eyes, flanked by a shorter, darker-skinned woman with tightly coiled black hair and a lean, amber-eyed man whose features hinted at East Asian ancestry. The silver-haired man stepped forward, his gaze sweeping across the chamber with a mixture of awe and determination. Greetings, honored members of the Galactic Council. I am Ambassador Jonathan Drake of Earth. With me are my colleagues, Dr. Amara Okafor and Lieutenant Chen Wei. A ripple of murmurs swept through the chamber as translator devices struggled to keep up with the unfamiliar language. Zixtar's exosuit pulsed with welcoming colors. Ambassador Drake, the High Counselor intoned, we bid you and your species welcome. The Galactic Council has long awaited this day, when humanity would take its place among the stars. Drake bowed slightly, a practiced smile on his face. We are honored by your welcome, High Counselor. Earth has dreamed of this moment for centuries. As the formal greetings concluded, the real business of the Council began. One by one, representatives from various alien races approached the humans, each with their own agenda. The Volcrin, a race of silicon-based lifeforms, inquired about Earth's mineral resources. The Zefka Collective, a hive mind spread across dozens of worlds, probed for information on human biology and social structures. Throughout it all, Ambassador Drake and his team maintained a carefully crafted facade of wide-eyed wonder and eager cooperation. They spoke of Earth's modest technological achievements, its fledgling space program, and its rich cultural diversity. What they didn't mention were the hidden military installations beneath the Mariana Trench, the quantum computing farms buried in the heart of Antarctica, or the swarms of stealth satellites that had been monitoring galactic communications for decades. As the day wore on, Dr. Okafor found herself cornered by a group of Trilixian scientists, their tentacled bodies swaying with excitement as they peppered her with questions about human medicine. Your species has achieved spaceflight, yet you still suffer from diseases. One Trilixian asked, its bioluminescent spots pulsing with curiosity. Amara smiled disarmingly. We've made great strides in medical science, but yes, we still face many health challenges. Perhaps we could learn from your advanced knowledge. The Trilixians chittered among themselves, clearly pleased by the implied flattery. Meanwhile, across the chamber, Lieutenant Chen was engaged in a delicate dance of half-truths with a gruff Korgan warrior. So, your world has no unified military, the Korgan growled, its four eyes narrowing suspiciously. Chen shrugged, his expression carefully neutral. Earth has many nations, each with its own defense forces. We've never needed a global army. The Korgan snorted, a sound like grinding rocks. Primitive. You'll need to change that if you hope to survive out here. As these conversations unfolded, Ambassador Drake found himself face-to-face with Zixtar and several other high-ranking council members. The exosuit-clad being's voice took on a paternal tone. Ambassador, we must discuss Earth's integration into the galactic community. There are protocols to be followed, technologies to be shared, and contributions to be made. Drake nodded, his expression a mask of eager compliance. Of course, High Counselor. Earth is ready to take its place and contribute however we can. A mentor diplomat, its crystalline body refracting the chamber's light, chimed in. We are particularly interested in your planet's biodiversity. Our preliminary scans suggest a wealth of unique flora and fauna. Indeed, Drake replied, Earth's ecosystems are one of our greatest treasures. We'd be happy to discuss scientific exchanges. What the ambassador didn't mention was the network of hidden biospheres scattered across the solar system, each containing backup populations of every terrestrial species. Nor did he speak of the genetically engineered supercrops growing in secret orbital farms, capable of feeding billions in the event of a planetary catastrophe. As the day wore on, it became clear that many council members viewed Earth as little more than a new resource to be exploited. Some spoke of uplifting humanity, while others debated how best to divide Earth's assets among the established powers. Through it all, Drake and his team played their roles perfectly. They expressed gratitude for the Council's guidance, asked thoughtful questions about galactic politics, and carefully steered conversations away from Earth's true capabilities. As the first day of negotiations drew to a close, Ambassador Drake addressed the Council one final time. Esteemed colleagues, on behalf of Earth, I thank you for this incredible welcome. We have much to learn from your wisdom and experience. We look forward to a long and prosperous relationship with the Galactic Council. The chamber erupted in polite applause, most delegates pleased with what they perceived as humanity's deferential attitude. As the Earth team was escorted to their quarters, however, a subtle change came over them. Once alone and secure from prying eyes or ears, Drake's affable demeanor fell away, replaced by a look of grim determination. He activated a subspace communicator hidden within his clothing, its technology far beyond anything the Council believed Earth capable of producing. Command, this is Drake. First phase complete. The Council has taken the bait. A voice crackled back, distorted by layers of quantum encryption. Understood, Ambassador. Proceed with Phase 2. The fate of humanity rests on your mission. Godspeed. As Drake ended the transmission, he turned to his companions. Amara's eyes gleamed with a mix of excitement and apprehension, while Chen's posture had shifted to that of a coiled spring, ready for action. Well, Drake said softly, it seems the Galactic Council is every bit as arrogant and short-sighted as our intelligence suggested. They see us as children, ripe for manipulation. Amara nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. The level of technology we've seen so far is concerning. Some of these species are centuries ahead of what we've shown them. All the more reason to maintain our charade, Chen added. If they knew what we're really capable of. Drake's expression hardened. They'd see us as a threat, to be contained or destroyed. No, we stick to the plan. Let them underestimate us. When the time comes, Earth will be ready. As the three humans settled in for the night, each lost in their own thoughts, the vast machinery of Earth's hidden war machine continued its relentless preparations. In shipyards concealed within the rings of Saturn, stealth fleets took shape. On Mars, legions of AI-driven combat drones ran endless simulations, and deep within the bedrock of the Moon, the quantum cores of Earth's true defense network hummed with activity, analyzing every scrap of data from the day's events. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, armed with a smile and a lie. The real question was, how long could they maintain the deception, and what would happen when the truth finally came to light? The Galactic Council's misjudgment, 2,000 words. The celestial nexus, heart of the Galactic Council's operations, pulsed with an eerie bioluminescence. Its architecture defied conventional physics, corridors twisting in impossible geometries that seemed to shift when viewed from different angles. It was within this mind-bending structure that humanity's fate would be decided. Ambassador Drake stood before a semicircle of the most influential beings in the known universe, each a master of technologies that would seem like magic to most humans. Yet Drake's spine remained straight, his gaze unwavering. High Counselor Zixtar's exosuit crackled with arcs of plasma as he addressed the gathering. Esteemed colleagues, we have observed these Earthlings for a full lunar cycle. The time has come to determine their place in our grand design. A quantum collective representative, its form a shimmering cloud of subatomic particles, pulsed with derision. They are barely beyond burning hydrocarbons for energy. What possible value could they offer? Drake felt a flicker of satisfaction. The Council's dismissive attitude was precisely what Earth had hoped for. He schooled his features into a mask of naive eagerness, waiting for the right moment to speak. Amara Okafor, standing to Drake's left, fought to keep her own expression neutral. As Earth's foremost xenobiologist, she had spent the past month in carefully orchestrated cultural exchanges with various alien species. What the aliens didn't know was that every handshake, every shared meal, every seemingly innocuous medical scan had provided Amara with invaluable data on their physiologies and potential vulnerabilities. On Drake's right, Lieutenant Chen Wei stood at parade rest, his posture a study in military discipline. To the Council, he appeared to be little more than a ceremonial guard. In reality, Chen's cybernetically enhanced senses had been mapping every inch of the celestial nexus, identifying defensive systems and potential weak points. A Chrono-Sapien elder, its body a swirling vortex of temporal energy, spoke next. Perhaps we are being hasty. These humans have shown remarkable adaptability. With proper guidance, they could become useful servants in a few millennia. Drake seized the opportunity. If I may, Honored Council, he began, his voice perfectly modulated to convey respect tinged with awe. Earth humbly seeks to learn from your infinite wisdom. We offer our planet's resources and our people's labor in exchange for the privilege of joining your enlightened community. The chamber buzzed with approval. Many council members nodded, pleased by what they perceived as humanity's willingness to submit to their authority. Zixtar's exosuit shimmered with patronizing benevolence. Your offer is noted, Ambassador. The Council will now deliberate on Earth's status. Please wait outside. As Drake and his team were ushered out, they exchanged subtle glances. Phase 2 of their plan was proceeding perfectly. In a nearby antechamber, the three humans huddled together, their voices low. They're buying it, Chen whispered, a hint of disbelief in his tone. I never thought beings of such advanced intelligence could be so arrogant. Amara nodded, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Their overconfidence is our greatest asset. Did you see how they dismissed our technological capabilities? They have no idea what's coming. Drake held up a hand for silence as a group of alien diplomats passed by. Once they were alone again, he spoke. Remember, we're not out of the woods yet. One slip, one hint of our true nature, and this all falls apart. Stick to the plan. As they waited, Drake reflected on the events that had led to this moment. Earth had detected the first signs of alien civilizations decades ago, long before official first contact. Instead of announcing this discovery to the world, a secret coalition of governments and corporations had worked tirelessly to prepare humanity for the realities of a universe teeming with life, much of it hostile. Project Trojan Horse, as it was known to only a handful of individuals, had accelerated human technological development at an unprecedented rate. Quantum computing, zero-point energy, gravity manipulation, all had been achieved in secret, hidden from both the public and alien eyes. The plan was audacious. Present Earth as a primitive, easily manipulated world, allow the Galactic Council to underestimate humanity, and then, when the moment was right, reveal Earth's true power. It was a gamble of galactic proportions, with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance. Drake's musings were interrupted as the chamber doors swung open. A telepathic symbiote, its dual bodies intertwined in a complex dance, beckoned them inside. As they re-entered, Drake noted subtle changes in the council members' postures and expressions. Some radiated smug satisfaction, others barely concealed disdain. Whatever decision had been reached, it was clear that Earth was not viewed as an equal. Zixtar's voice boomed through the chamber. Representatives of Earth, the Council has reached a decision. Your world will be granted probationary status within our community. A holographic display materialized in the center of the room, showing a complex network of trade routes and resource allocations. Earth appeared as a small, pulsing dot on the fringes. You will be assigned a developmental overseer, Zixtar continued. All of Earth's resources and labor will be directed according to the Council's needs. In exchange, we will provide limited access to certain technologies and knowledge. Drake forced his features into an expression of gratitude, even as his mind raced with the implications. The Council wasn't just underestimating Earth, they were planning to exploit it completely. We are honored by your decision, Drake said, bowing low. Earth looks forward to proving its worth to the galactic community. As the Council members congratulated themselves on their magnanimous decision, Drake and his team were escorted to their new quarters. The rooms were luxurious by human standards, but clearly designed to impress and intimidate a primitive species. Once alone, Drake activated a series of undetectable jamming devices. When he was certain they couldn't be overheard, he turned to his companions, his expression grim. Well, he said, it seems the Council has played right into our hands. They see Earth as nothing more than a new colony to strip mine. Amara's fingers danced over a hidden console, uploading the data she had gathered. Their arrogance is almost impressive. Did you see the resource allocation plans? They intend to take everything, leaving Earth a husk. Chen's eyes narrowed. How long before they realize their mistake? We can't maintain this charade forever. Drake nodded, his mind already racing ahead to the next phase of their plan. We won't have to. Earth Command has been monitoring our progress. The moment we transmit our findings, Operation Unveiling begins. The three humans shared a moment of silent understanding. They had come to the celestial nexus as representatives of a seemingly weak and naïve species. Soon, they would reveal themselves as the vanguard of a civilization more than capable of standing toe-to-toe with the Galactic Council. As Drake prepared the encrypted subspace transmission that would set everything in motion, he couldn't help but feel a twinge of regret. In an ideal universe, first contact would have been a moment of joy and mutual understanding. Instead, humanity had been forced to approach the galactic community with suspicion and deceit. Message sent, Drake announced, his finger hovering over the transmission button. Are we absolutely certain about this? Once we cross this line, there's no going back. Earth will be at war with the most powerful forces in the galaxy. Amara placed a hand on his shoulder, her voice soft but resolved. We've seen what they plan to do to our world, Jonathan. To every world they deem inferior. We have no choice. Chen nodded in agreement. Better to fight on our terms than wait for them to realize their mistake. Earth is ready. We're ready. Drake took a deep breath and pressed the button. In that instant, the fate of humanity was sealed. Across the vast distances of space, Earth's hidden fleets powered up their engines. Orbital defense platforms emerged from dimensional pockets around the solar system, and deep beneath the surface of an unassuming blue planet, weapons of unimaginable power hummed to life. The Galactic Council had made its judgment of humanity. They saw a primitive, easily controlled species ripe for exploitation. In the coming days, they would learn the cost of their arrogance. Earth was about to unveil its true face to the universe, and nothing would ever be the same. As alarms began to blare throughout the celestial nexus, Drake turned to his companions. Well, he said with a grim smile, I believe that's our cue. Shall we show our gracious hosts what humanity is really capable of? With a shared nod of determination, the three humans stepped out to face a galaxy that had gravely underestimated them. The time for deception was over. Now, it was humanity's turn to stun the Galactic Council. Earth's secret unveiled, 2,000 words. The celestial nexus shuddered, its impossible geometries twisting in ways that made even the most seasoned alien diplomats nauseous. Alarms screamed in a cacophony of alien languages, their urgency transcending the need for translation. Ambassador Drake, Dr. Okafor, and Lieutenant Chen strode purposefully through the chaos, their previously meek demeanors shed like old skins. As they approached the central chamber, the doors burst open, disgorging a flood of panicked aliens. High Counselor Zixtar's exosuit crackled with agitation, arcs of plasma lashing out at nearby fixtures. "What is the meaning of this?" he demanded, his multifaceted eyes fixed on the human trio. Drake stepped forward, a small device materializing in his hand. With a flick of his wrist, a holographic display bloomed to life, showing the solar system and the massive fleet that had just emerged from subspace around Earth. Honored members of the Galactic Council, Drake's voice rang out, amplified by technology far beyond what Earth had previously displayed. "It seems we have a confession to make." The chamber fell silent, all eyes fixed on the hologram. Sleek warships, their designs unlike anything the Council had seen before, took up defensive positions around Earth and its colonies. Massive space stations phased into existence at strategic points, their weapon systems already powered up and tracking incoming vessels. Amara stepped forward, her own holographic display showing a dizzying array of biological and technological data. "While you were busy underestimating us, we were studying you. Every handshake, every shared meal, every cultural exchange was an opportunity to analyze your strengths and your weaknesses." Chen's contribution was perhaps the most shocking. With a series of precise gestures, he brought up a tactical overlay of the celestial nexus itself, complete with detailed schematics of its defenses and vital systems. "Your security," he said with a hint of professional disdain, "leaves much to be desired." The council chamber erupted into chaos. Accusations flew, threats were made, and more than a few representatives began to edge towards the exits. Zixtar's exosuit pulsed with a mixture of fury and fear. "Impossible," he bellowed. "You are nothing but primitives, barely out of your stone age." Drake's laugh was cold and mirthless. "A convenient fiction, one you were all too eager to believe. The truth, High Counselor, is that humanity has been preparing for this day for generations." As if on cue, the holographic display shifted, showing images that made many council members recoil in shock. Vast underground cities on Mars, teeming with advanced AI constructs. Dyson swarms around Mercury, harnessing the sun's energy on a scale that dwarfed anything the council races had achieved. Jupiter's moons, transformed into fortress worlds bristling with weaponry that could reduce planets to ash. "While you saw us as primitives to be exploited," Drake continued, his voice hard, "we were building an empire among the stars. An empire hidden in plain sight, shielded by technology you dismissed as impossible for our level of development." The Quantum Collective representative, its particle cloud roiling with agitation, pulsed forward. "This is an outrage, an act of war against the Galactic Council." Amara's eyes flashed dangerously. "War? No, this is a declaration of independence. A statement that humanity will not be subjugated, exploited, or treated as anything less than equals." As the implications sank in, the mood in the chamber shifted from outrage to fear. The council members began to realize that they were no longer dealing with a primitive species to be molded, but a galactic superpower that had been hiding in the shadows. Zixtar, his exosuit now crackling with barely contained energy, addressed the human trio. "What are your demands?" he asked, his voice a mixture of resignation and barely contained fury. Drake's smile was razor-sharp. "Demands? Oh no, High Counselor. We're not here to make demands. We're here to negotiate as equals." With a gesture, Drake expanded the holographic display, showing a real-time view of Earth's fleet engaging Galactic Council forces throughout nearby systems. The aliens watched in stunned silence as humanity's hidden might was unveiled. Earth ships, utilizing technology that seemed to bend the very fabric of space-time, danced through enemy formations with impossible grace. Weapons that defied conventional physics tore through the most advanced council defenses as if they were tissue paper. "This," Drake said, his voice filled with pride and determination, "is the true face of humanity. We come not as conquerors, but as guardians. Our goal is not domination, but cooperation, on our terms." As the council members watched their carefully constructed power structures crumble before their eyes, a new hologram materialized in the center of the chamber. It showed a face that made even Drake and his team stand a little straighter. Admiral Elena Valdez, Supreme Commander of Earth's Combined Defense Forces, addressed the Galactic Council directly. Her holographic form, projected across vast interstellar distances, was a testament to humanity's technological prowess. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Valdez began, her voice resonating with authority, "for too long, you have seen the galaxy as your playground, treating less advanced species as pawns in your grand designs. Today, that changes." The Admiral's image was flanked by representations of Earth's true military might. Planetoids converted into mobile battle stations, swarms of AI-driven combat drones that could outthink the most advanced council tacticians, and weapons that could harness the power of collapsing stars. "We have watched from the shadows as you manipulated and exploited countless civilizations," Valdez continued. "We have seen worlds stripped of resources, species enslaved in all but name, all in the name of your grand design. No more." The council chamber was deathly silent now, every being present realizing that the balance of power in the galaxy had shifted irrevocably. "Humanity stands ready to take its place as a force for change in this galaxy," Valdez declared. "We offer friendship to those who seek it, protection to those who need it, and a warning to those who would threaten the weak. Earth is watching, and we will not stand idly by." As the Admiral's words hung in the air, Drake stepped forward once more. "The choice is yours, honored council. Will you treat with us as equals, or will you cling to your outdated notions of superiority?" The next few moments would determine the course of galactic history. The council members looked at one another, a mixture of fear, respect, and dawning understanding in their alien eyes. Zixtar, his exosuit now dimmed to a dull glow, spoke for the assembly. "It seems we have much to discuss, Ambassador Drake. Perhaps we should reconvene this session under more equitable terms." Drake nodded, a hint of a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "A wise decision, High Counselor. Shall we begin?" As negotiations commenced in earnest, the galaxy held its breath. Humanity had revealed itself not as the primitive newcomers the Council had assumed, but as a hidden superpower ready to reshape the cosmic order. In the depths of space, Earth's fleet stood ready, a silent warning to any who might think to challenge this new paradigm. On countless worlds, oppressed species looked to the skies with newfound hope, whispering tales of the humans who had challenged the Galactic Council and won. And on Earth itself, billions of humans went about their daily lives, blissfully unaware that their civilization had just stepped onto the galactic stage in the most dramatic fashion possible. The future was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril, but one thing was clear: the age of human obscurity was over. The galaxy would never be the same again. As the negotiations stretched into their third day, Drake found a moment alone with Amara and Chen. The weight of their responsibility hung heavy on all their shoulders. "We've changed everything," Amara said softly, her eyes fixed on the swirling vortex of the celestial nexus visible through a nearby viewport. "For better or worse, the galaxy will never be the same." Chen nodded, his cybernetic implants processing countless tactical scenarios. "The real challenge begins now. We've shown our hand. The question is, how will the galaxy respond?" Drake's gaze was distant, seeing beyond the immediate crisis to the vast, uncharted future that lay ahead. "Whatever comes," he said with quiet determination, "humanity is ready. We stepped out of the shadows on our own terms. Now we shape our destiny among the stars." As they turned back to the negotiation chamber, the three humans shared a moment of silent understanding. They had unveiled Earth's true power to the galaxy, but this was just the beginning. The real work of forging a new galactic order, one where humanity stood as equals among the cosmic powers, was only just beginning. The stars themselves seemed to shine a little brighter, as if in acknowledgement of the momentous change that had occurred. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not with a whimper, but with a resounding declaration of strength and purpose. The age of deception was over. The era of human ascendancy had begun. The negotiations had barely concluded when the first tremors of change rippled across the galaxy. On a distant world known as Lyra 9, a planet long exploited for its rare minerals, something unprecedented occurred. As the Zefka Collective's mining drones descended for their daily harvest, they were met not by the usual cowering natives, but by a shimmering barrier of energy. Behind it stood a contingent of humans, their expressions resolute. Commander Samira Kuri, her dark skin contrasting sharply with her iridescent exosuit, addressed the stunned Zefka overseer. By decree of the Earth Galactic Accord, Lyra 9 is now under human protection. Your mining operations here are terminated, effective immediately. Across 100 worlds, similar scenes played out. Humanity, once thought to be confined to a single unremarkable planet, was suddenly everywhere. Back on Earth, in the depths of the Mariana Trench, a facility known only as the Abyss hummed with activity. Here, in a structure that defied conventional engineering, the true architects of Earth's galactic strategy gathered. Dr. Elara Venn, her silver hair floating in the zero-gravity chamber, manipulated a holographic display with graceful gestures. The image showed a real-time map of the galaxy, pulsing with data streams and strategic overlays. The council races are reacting exactly as predicted, she announced to the assembled team. Confusion, followed by attempted retaliation, now settling into a wary acceptance of the new status quo. Admiral Valdez, her holographic form projected from the front lines, nodded in agreement. Our rapid deployment caught them off guard. The Zefka are already calling for emergency talks. A new voice joined the conversation, one that sent a ripple of anticipation through the room. From the shadows stepped a figure that seemed to bend light around it, as if reality itself was uncertain how to perceive its presence. "Well done, all of you," said Director Omega, the enigmatic leader of Earth's hidden empire. "But let's not celebrate just yet. We've made our opening move, but the real game is only beginning." As if to underscore Omega's words, alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. Dr. Venn's hands flew over the holographic controls, her eyes widening in surprise. "We're detecting a massive energy surge in the Andromeda galaxy," she reported, her voice tense. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." The holographic display shifted, showing a swirling vortex of impossible energies coalescing at the edge of Andromeda. As the assembled humans watched in stunned silence, a massive structure began to emerge from the chaos. "By all that's holy," Admiral Valdez breathed. "What is that thing?" Director Omega stepped forward, his featureless mask revealing nothing of the emotions behind it. "That, my friends, is why we've been preparing all these years. The precursors have returned." The room erupted into a flurry of activity. The precursors were thought to be nothing more than a myth, an ancient race that had supposedly seeded the galaxy with life eons ago before vanishing without a trace. "Alert all Earth forces," Omega commanded, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Initiate Protocol Omega. It's time to show the galaxy why humanity has been hiding in plain sight all these years." As the orders went out, the true scope of Earth's preparations became clear. Hidden Dyson spheres around brown dwarf stars flared to life, channeling unimaginable energies. Fleets of ships, far larger and more advanced than those revealed to the Galactic Council, emerged from dimensional pockets scattered throughout the local group. On Earth itself, the planet's crust began to shift, revealing vast structures that had lain dormant for millennia. To the astonishment of even the highest-ranking human officials, it became clear that Earth itself was a weapon, a planetary engine of war designed to face threats beyond the comprehension of most species. In the celestial nexus, Ambassador Drake received the alert just as he was concluding a tense meeting with the Council leadership. Without a word, he activated a device on his wrist, causing the entire nexus to shudder and transform. What is the meaning of this? High Counselor Zixtar demanded, his exosuit flaring with agitation. Drake's eyes were hard as he addressed the stunned council. Esteemed colleagues, we face a threat greater than any of our petty squabbles. The precursors have returned, and if we don't stand together, all life in the galaxy, perhaps the universe, will be extinguished. As if to punctuate his words, a massive hologram materialized in the center of the chamber, showing the precursor structure in all its terrifying glory. It was a construct of impossible scale, a fusion of technology and biology that defied comprehension. By the cosmic egg, a chronosapien elder whispered, its temporal vortex body fluctuating wildly. The legends were true. Drake nodded grimly. More true than you know. Humanity has been preparing for this moment for longer than you can imagine. The deception, the hidden technology, all of it was for this purpose. As the Council races reeled from this revelation, Earth's true might was unleashed. The planet itself began to move, breaking free from its orbit as massive engines ignited. The moon revealed to be an ancient battle station, detached from its orbit and took up a defensive position. Across the galaxy, hidden human outposts activated ancient technologies, creating a network of wormholes that allowed for instant travel across vast distances. Through these portals poured ships of mind-bending design, each capable of facing entire fleets of conventional vessels. In the depths of the abyss, Director Omega interfaced directly with Earth's planetary consciousness, a melding of mind and machine that allowed for control of the entire human war machine. All units, prepare for transgalactic jump. Omega's voice resonated across all human frequencies. Our destination is Andromeda. Our mission, to challenge the precursors and secure the future of all life in the universe. As Earth's forces mobilized on a scale never before seen in the history of the galaxy, the various council races found themselves faced with a choice: join humanity in facing this existential threat, or stand aside and hope for the best. Zixtar, his earlier arrogance replaced by a grim determination, was the first to speak. The Galactic Council pledges its full support to Earth in this endeavor. We may have misjudged you, humans, but now we stand with you against the darkness. One by one, the other races added their voices in support. Age-old rivalries were set aside in the face of annihilation. The galaxy united as never before, rallying behind the very species it had so recently dismissed as primitive. As the combined fleets of Earth and the Galactic Council prepared to make the jump to Andromeda, Ambassador Drake found a moment alone with Dr. Okafor and Lieutenant Chen. "Did you ever imagine it would come to this?" Amara asked, her voice hushed with awe as she watched planets and moons transform into battle stations before her eyes. Chen shook his head, a wry smile on his face. "When I signed up for this mission, I thought the hardest part would be keeping our true nature hidden. I never dreamed we'd be leading a charge against the creators of life itself." Drake's expression was resolute as he gazed out at the assembling armada. This is what humanity has been preparing for all along, not just to take our place among the galactic community, but to stand as a shield against chaos, the defenders of all life. As if in response to his words, a massive wormhole bloomed in space before them, large enough to swallow entire solar systems. Through it, they could see the swirling energies of Andromeda and the looming threat of the precursor construct. Admiral Valdez's voice echoed across the comm systems of every ship in the fleet. "All units, this is it. The moment humanity steps onto the largest stage of all, whatever happens next will echo through eternity. For Earth, for life, for the very future of existence itself, we go to war." With that declaration, the greatest armada ever assembled in the history of the universe surged forward into the wormhole. Humanity, once hidden and underestimated, now led the charge against a threat older than time itself. As they plunged into the swerving vortex, Drake couldn't help but reflect on the ironies of their situation. Humanity had hidden its true nature out of fear of the galaxy, only to become its greatest hope against an unimaginable threat. The battle for the future of all life was about to begin, and humanity was at its heart. The ultimate underdogs were now the universe's last best hope. As the wormhole's energies engulfed them, transporting the fleet across the vast gulf between galaxies, one thought echoed through the minds of every human. They had prepared for this moment for generations. Now, it was time to show the precursors and the universe exactly what humanity was capable of. The cosmic chess game had entered its final decisive phase, and humanity was playing for the highest stakes imaginable.